AI arms race is heating up, that's for sure. Alphabet shares are surging today after the company announced their AI model Gemini. Microsoft also getting a boost after having their own shareholder meeting earlier today. Let's bring in CNBC contributor Malcolm Ethridge of CIC Wealth to discuss all of this. So I look at Alphabet's having its best percentage day since July. You sold it, and we made a whole big deal about that. So what do you think about this announcement? You write them off too soon?
Yes and no. So yesterday, I got the same announcement everybody else got, and I thought, this is finally their moment. This is what I, as a former shareholder, was asking for, 12 months ago almost, it feels like at least. And this morning, we're getting reporting from the information and others that maybe there's not as much there as we thought, and Gemini is not as powerful as it was initially touted to be. Maybe it's the equivalent of what GPT-3 actually was. And so I'll say let's hold on for a second. Let's wait to see after people get their hands on this Gemini model just how powerful it actually is. But I will say I'm also thankful that Google has finally woken up and joined the party.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to be critical of the fact that you don't own Alphabet. You can't own everything. I think that's fair to say. You own Amazon and Microsoft, of course, Apple, and some other names as it relates to this space. But do you feel like we're going to get, as we turn the calendar into 2024, we're going to get a more distinguishing line between the real winners and those who are pretenders?
100%. I think we're probably turning the corner here where we're probably going to add another 3, I think maybe 4 names to the Magnificent 7, as we've been calling them this year, that are all the names that are actually doing something tangible in the world of AI. And I think the ones that are going to be the dominant leaders of that 10 are the ones that show a way to actually commercialize and generate revenue using those tools sooner than later. So a lot of what we were promised in AI back in March was solely just the promise of this is what AI is going to do. I think we're now going to be a little more critical and say, show me the money. As
I referenced, you obviously have a significant exposure to Megacaps, which Tom Lee, who's as bullish as anybody I've heard, suggests that they're not going to lead. They're going to outperform, but the Megacaps are not going to lead in 2024. Do you share that view?
Absolutely not. I was shocked to hear Tom say the financials were actually going to be twice as good from an investment return perspective as Megacap Tech. I think realistically what is happening is the broader economy is not doing so great right now, but it's being overshadowed by the fact that AI has just captivated our imagination and made us excited about the return potential as investors with these 7 to 10 stocks, as I mentioned. And so I think all of the capital, one way or another, is going to flow into those 10 names in 2024, and that's what's going to end up dominating the S&P and the NASDAQ once again.
Wow, so it's going to be the same thing that happened this year? You must not. Does that mean you're not as sanguine on the economy as others or earnings, so we're going to once again just go balance sheet hunting for safety?
Well, as I said, I think that the broader economy is not doing so great, right? We just got
well, it's not doing so bad. Not doing so bad.
Maybe, but I think that what we're seeing is a dislocation between the stock market, where we should have had a pretty flat stock market this year, not nearly as impressive as it is, except for the fact that AI came in March, thanks to ChatGPT, and stoked everyone's excitement about investing all over again, and it's tech. And so I think we'll add a few names. Maybe we add Adobe, maybe we add Salesforce, maybe we add AMD, names like that have actually shown a immediately commercial ability to generate revenue using these tools, specifically co-pilots that they've adapted. But I don't think that the broader stock market is necessarily in any better shape than it was the last couple of quarters. I think we're just not seeing it because the S&P is getting led by AI once again.
No, but the performance, let's just say, since the end of October, if I would have asked you this question then, I would say, okay, yeah, you're right, obviously. However, it is obviously a different story. I'm looking, the Russell's up 8% in the last month. That's not a broadening out. That is far from a top-heavy, more recent market. You could be highly critical, if you want to be, of the internal makeup of whatever the market did up until November, and then it's clearly been a much different and, dare I say, healthier story, no?
I think that's fair to say. I think that the AI high tide raised all the boats. I think You're making a very good point that there was a giant gap between the Magnificent Seven and everybody else, and the other stocks decided to gap up instead of the Mag 7 gapping down. But at the same time, I think what's going to continue that narrative is not going to be small caps, it's not going to be financials, it's not going to be energy. Where people's imagination and excitement gets captivated once again come earnings season is going to be AI once again.